Breaking news in the Michael Irvin $100 million defamation case against Marriott Hotel and the Jane Doe employee who has accused him of misconduct and got him canceled from TV appearances during Super Bowl week. The federal judge in Irving's case ordered Marriott to turn over the surveillance footage, any investigation reports, as well as any witness statements that it had by Tuesday at 5 p.m. Soon after the 5 p.m. Tuesday deadline had passed, Irvin's lawyer scheduled a press conference. Here we have the Dallas Morning News, their story about Michael Irvin's news conference a day after Marriott's deadline to turn over evidence. This was at 9:20 p.m. on March 7, 2023. The story explains that former Cowboy wide receiver Michael Irvin plans to hold a news conference Wednesday to address the incident involving the female hotel staff member in Arizona. His public appearance coming one day after the court-ordered deadline by which Marriott was required to give Irvin any video recordings and other materials associated with the encounter. Irvin could present hotel surveillance footage when meeting with reporters in Dallas at 10:30 a.m. The article goes on to say that Irvin, has said that no inappropriate physical conduct occurred between him and the woman during their brief conversation inside the lobby of that hotel. Then down here it says Marriott declined requests from the Dallas Morning News for comment. Typical. It also spurned legal attempts from Irvin's attorney Levi McCathern to collect more information, accusing him of creating a propaganda machine in one court document the news obtained. In another filing, it states Marriott said Irvin made, quote, harassing and inappropriate comments towards the employee. So here we know that Irvin is not being accused of any physical assault or physical misconduct. This is merely words alone that led to his cancellation from the NFL Network. So it'll be interesting to see what that video footage shows and how the Jane Doe employee reacted to whatever was said. Then it says, last week, in response to a motion for expedited discovery from McCathern, U.S. District Judge Amos Mezant sided with Irvin and ordered Marriott to provide Irvin, quote, any and all video recordings, written reports, and or witness statements gathered that pertain to Irvin's February visit at the Renaissance Hotel. Marriott was allowed to redact the woman's name in any documents to protect the Jane Doe defendant's privacy. Marriott had until Tuesday at 5 p.m. to produce the recordings, reports, and statements. Within the first hour after the deadline, a press release announcing Irvin's news conference was distributed to reporters. McCathern and Irvin's agent are scheduled to attend. Now, here is something I found interesting about Irvin's press release. It says Irvin, quote, has also asked eyewitnesses to the alleged incident to be available according to the press release. So Irvin is asking those three eyewitnesses that they interviewed and that were interviewed separately by the Dallas Morning News to appear during his press conference when presumably he is going to show everybody, the world, the surveillance footage that Marriott was forced to turn over to him. Irvin told the news on February 7th that he did not remember every part of their conversation, which he estimated lasted about 45 seconds. He said that he consumed alcohol at dinner earlier in the evening with former Cowboys safety Michael Brooks. If you watch my last couple of videos, you know that Marriott really made a big deal about the fact that Irvin said he couldn't really recall that interaction with the woman because he had been drinking a little bit that night. The article goes on to quote Irvin, quote, what law did I break? Irvin said. There was definitely nothing physical. That's honestly all that happened. Nobody was in my room. It was a 45-second conversation in the lobby, a handshake, and we left. I don't know. I don't know what this is, and it's running me crazy. So it sounds like the video footage that the Marriott must have produced over to Irvin yesterday, Tuesday, is only going to show an interaction between them. My first question is going to be, is there audio with that footage? And if so, can we actually make out what the two parties are saying, what Irvin and the hotel staff member were saying to each other? If not, and it seems like a totally neutral interaction between the two with, as Irvin says, a handshake at the end, and then they went their separate ways, then it's going to be a he said, she said type of situation where she is accusing Irvin of saying something probably horrible, and Irvin is denying having said that. Are we going to be able to see any noticeable change in body language between Irvin and the staff member in particular that suggests that the hotel employee was offended by something that she said. If Irvin is correct in recalling that he shook her hand before they parted ways, then he couldn't have said something so horrible that it was repulsive to the woman that sent her fleeing in terror or something like that, where she reacted, maybe slapped him across the face. It could not have been that bad, because if they shook hands and all the witnesses are saying it was a cordial interaction, then I can't imagine that the video is going to show anything that would have warranted canceling him from the NFL Network or reporting whatever he said to the NFL Network by Marriott. Another question that I had when I read this news release was, why did Irvin's attorney ask for eyewitnesses to attend or be available during the press conference tomorrow? Is Irvin planning on showing a clip of the surveillance footage and then asking the witnesses to comment on it to confirm that that is the interaction that they witnessed? And if there's no audio, then maybe asking the witnesses to fill in some of the parts of the conversation that they may have overheard, or whether there was laughing, and if so, at what point in the interaction there was laughing or pleasantries exchanged between the two. That'll be interesting to see. One last thought that I had was, Marriott's lawyers have already complained that Irvin is trying to make this a trial by media. So I would imagine that Marriott's lawyers are going to lose their mind when Irvin's lawyer, if he does, show the surveillance footage or parts of it during the press conference and then starts questioning the witnesses who were present during that interaction about different clips from the surveillance footage and asking them what was happening there, as though he were in a courtroom direct examining witnesses in front of a judge and a jury. If you like this video and you want to see my coverage once that surveillance footage comes out, then make sure to hit that subscribe button below and turn the bell notification icon on. And of course, as always, thank you for watching.